If you're like most business owners right now, you're stuck trying to figure out what work should go to AI and what should stay with you or your team. The problem isn't that you don't know how to build AI automations. The real problem is most of you are building automations that you shouldn't be building at all. And I've seen this with 600 plus members in my community. The people who get results automate the right things. The ones who try to automate everything end up achieving very little. So today I'm breaking down my exact decision-making framework for when to automate things in your business and when not to, because without this framework, you're gonna keep wasting weeks building automations that never get used. Okay, so here's the framework: when to automate versus when not to. And step one is the strategic question has to be asked first. Here's what I mean by that. Before you touch any automation platform, before you open ChatGPT, before you do anything technical, I want you to answer this one question. If AI owned this work completely, what would change in my business? Let me give an example. Last week, someone in my community, let's call her Jane, was trying to automate her podcast workflow. So transcript comes in, show notes come out, social media posts, email sequences, etc. Right now, her VA does this manually. It takes about a few hours per episode per week, and the output's been mediocre at best. And Jane spent days building the automation, getting stuck, getting frustrated with it. It just wasn't working. Then she asked me, Rick, wouldn't it be faster to just have my VA do each of these tasks in ChatGPT? But she was asking the wrong question. She wasn't thinking about, if this automation works, what happens to my VA? That's a few hours every single week per episode the VA doesn't need to do anymore. So what does the VA do instead? And that is the strategic decision. Until you answer that, you're not ready to build any kind of automation. Would you save enough time to actually invest that time somewhere more valuable in your business or in your life? Be specific here. Don't just say, I would save time. How much time? Whose time would you save? And what would that person do, or you? What would you do instead? If you can't answer that clearly, you're not ready to build the automations quite yet. You're missing the strategic piece. Make sense? Now here's step two, the 4 automation criteria. All right, so once you're clear on the strategic decision, then you evaluate if the work is right for automation. And I look at 4 things. Criteria number 1 is it repetitive? If you're doing it the same way every time, same input, same process, same output format, that is a really good signal for automation. Jane's podcast workflow, same process, every single episode, every single week. Transcript comes in, show notes out, social media posts, email gets written, gets sent out. Perfect candidate for automation. The second criteria is it high volume? How often does this happen? If it's once a month, probably not worth automating. If it's weekly, maybe, yeah. If it's daily or multiple times per day or multiple times per week, definitely worth considering for automating it. Jane does 1 podcast per week, 52 episodes a year at a few hours per episode. Let's call it 260 hours annually. That's worth automating, right? Now, the third criteria, and this is the one that everyone misses, is can you define good enough? You need to know what output quality that you are willing to accept. If the work requires deep strategic thinking, nuanced understanding of your specific brand voice, AI probably shouldn't own that. But if you can say good enough is 80% of what I or my VA produces or somebody else on your team, and I'm willing to, or have someone else, edit that last 20%, then automation might work. And then criteria number 4, what is the cost of getting it wrong? If the automation fails, what happens? If it's posting to social media and a post goes out with a mistake, that's fixable, annoying, but fixable. If it's responding to a high value client email and AI gives the wrong answer, that could cost you the client. You need to know the risk tolerance before you automate. Make sense? And one way to make your automations a whole lot smarter is by using MCPs within your automations. For example, every Monday morning, I go into my Notion, I'm checking the video status for the videos that week and upcoming. I'm sending reminder emails to my team. I'm also updating the video channel in my Slack. And that's where Zapier MCP comes in. Your AI can now access your actual tools, and it does work that you normally have to do yourself. I come over to Claude, I connect Claude to my Zapier account. So you just go to settings and you go to connectors, go to browse connectors. So I find Zapier in the list here. And once you connect it, it will look like this. And through Zapier MCP, I can now link it to Notion, Gmail, and Slack. Then I just type into Claude, check my current videos in the videos database, post the weekly update for videos in Slack. And just like that, it's done everything I've just asked it to. It gives me a summary of the actions it's taken, tells me that an email was sent, and also a Slack update was posted. And the best part, Zapier MCP gives you access to over 8,000 apps. There's no coding required, and it scales with your existing Zapier plan. So if you're tired of being the bottleneck in your own business, click the link in the description below to try Zapier MCP yourself. And then step 3 of my framework is the ownership decision. So if the work passes those 4 criteria that I just shared, then you make the ownership decision. There are 3 options with that. Option A is AI owns it completely. The automation runs end to end. Someone might review the output, right? Human in the loop, but AI does the work. Ownership option B is AI assists, but a person actually owns it. So AI does the heavy lifting, first drafts, data processing, formatting, whatever, but a human makes final decisions and handles these strategic pieces of the task or the workflow. And then for option C, a human owns it. AI stays out. The work that requires too much context, strategy, or relationship management, keep it human. You do it yourself or somebody on your team is actually doing it. So for Jane's podcast workflow, I recommended option A for show notes and social posts, option B for the email. So her VA reviews the email that AI is writing and then personalizes it, updates, etc. And then option C for anything involving direct audience engagement or strategy decisions. Okay, now let's talk about when not to automate. Example number 1, client relationship management. Don't automate this. Responding to your high value clients' questions or concerns or setting their strategy, don't automate this. Why not? The cost of getting it wrong is too high. Those relationships are worth too much to you. AI can draft responses, sure, but you are someone who deeply understands your clients, needs to review and then send. So this is option B, AI assists, but a human owns it. Okay, example number 2 of what I don't recommend automating, strategic content decisions. Don't automate deciding what content to create, what topics to cover, or what your positioning should be. Why not? This requires business context at that very moment in your business because things change, market awareness and strategic thinking that AI doesn't have about your specific situation. Now, example number 3, one-off or rare tasks. Don't automate things that you do once a month or less, unless they're extremely time consuming. Why not? The time investment to build and maintain the automation isn't worth the time saved. You're just not doing it frequently enough to make sense. All right, so back to Jane and her podcast automation. Here's exactly what I told Jane to do. First, make the strategic decision. If this automation works, your VA's role changes. She's not spending multiple hours per episode per week on production work anymore. So what does she do instead? Jane realized that her VA could focus on audience engagement, for example, responding to comments, building relationships with listeners. Way more valuable work, right? And once that was clear, the technical decision to create this automation became super easy. Build the automation for show notes and social posts. Repetitive, high volume, good enough is definable. Low cost if it fails. VA review and personalize the email before it goes out. Still saves 80% of the time, but keeps the human touch to this. Keep all direct audience engagement with the VA. That's relationship management, which AI shouldn't own. Look, people are looking for authenticity and genuine connection. AI isn't going to give you that when you are engaging with your audience on social media or via email. And the output quality actually went up because the VA isn't burned out on repetitive production tasks that should be automated. But none of that happens until the strategic decision gets made first. All right, so here's what I want you to do this week. Everything that you do in your business, ask yourself if this is something that you can delegate to AI, to automate. Put that task through the criteria that I've just shared with you. And based on your answers, you're gonna know exactly what to do next. Now, if you want help making these strategic AI decisions in your business, not just the technical how-to, yes, but the actual framework for what should be automated and what shouldn't. That's exactly the type of stuff we do inside my AI playbook community. We've got over 600 online business owners who are working through this stuff in real time. Weekly Q&A calls where you can ask me stuff directly about your specific situation. We've got frameworks. We've got over 65 done for you AI agents and automations, playbooks, and real examples from people who are actually implementing this stuff. I'll have a link in the description below if you want to come check out the community with a free 7-day trial. All right, thank you so much for watching today. Hope this was helpful for you, and I'll see you in the next video.